I mean, I detest those meal prep services that are like, here's 3 sprigs of asparagus with your golf ball size cut of chicken and a dollop of sweet potato. Like, gee, thanks. I'm glad I paid $25 for the amount of food appropriate for a doll. No. Not in the Coach Rain world. I legitimately make my salads in a large mixing bowl to make room for all the veggies.
Do you struggle to stay consistent with healthy eating and just want food decisions to be easy, guilt-free, and sustainable? You're in the right place. Hi, I'm Chelsea, nutritionist and fitness coach who overcame restrictive yo-yo dieting and body image insecurities using simple nutrition tools, all backed by biblical principles. And now I help women like you find that same freedom with food so you can feel confident in the look and health of your body for decades to come. I'm ready to dive in with you. So grab that cute notebook you've been hanging on to and let's go.
I went shopping with family and my sister told me that she could tell I lost weight. I can now fit into a size 2 pant. It was amazing to hear it from her because she can tell I've gained muscle mass and look fitter. It was so heartwarming. A little over 1 year since starting your program, and I've already reached my body weight goal. I'm more toned, have gained muscle mass, and feel so much stronger and healthier in all aspects of life. Meals are forever changed for me, and so many processed foods and brands no longer hold any interest or appeal to me. This is a message from a member of the Graduates Club, my exclusive group of nutrition clients who continue their journey with me after they've completed the Sustainable Way, my one-on-one nutrition coaching program. I don't know if you have ever had someone you haven't seen for a while take verbal notice of your physical changes, but when it's for the better, gosh, there is just something so validating in that moment. Even though this client has told me on multiple occasions that this process has never felt hard or difficult, it does take intentionality and effort. My heart is so happy that her efforts are paying off tenfold and she's more confident than ever. If you are ready to have that same experience and finally take control of your nutrition, I have a spot with your name on it in the Sustainable Way. Simply head to coachrain.com/nutrition coaching to book a free consultation call with me, and I'll take care of the rest. That's coachreign.com/nutrition coaching, and let's get you on the path to be my next testimonial. And now, welcome to Nutrition for Christian Women. What to eat to start seeing muscle definition? A question that plagues a lot of us, myself included, when I first started my health and nutrition journey. And I tried a lot of methods that boasted of incredible physical transformations. Unfortunately, most of them only kinda worked or were so rigorous that I just could not maintain them. This is true for many of my clients before they start working with me. I had a client who literally followed the tuna smoothie diet for a while in an effort to lose weight. You heard that right, tuna smoothie. She told me it consisted of canned tuna and blueberries blended together, and that was every meal. Of course, she lost weight doing that. That's a pretty unique way of starving yourself. But man, talk about unsustainable. And frankly, just gross, if you ask me. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through the 3 steps to take with your diet that I have found to be the most effective for seeing muscle definition. This is not only from my own personal lived experience, but what has proven to be tried and true for the vast majority of my nutrition coaching clients. So if you're tired of feeling like you're doing all the right things, but still aren't seeing the results you want, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. The first step to take for finally seeing muscle definition is to increase your protein intake. In order to see muscles, they need to be big enough to be seen. Of course, this is paired with using your muscles. If you don't use them, you lose them. And if you don't feed them, they don't grow. So it's a tandem effort. But assuming you already have an exercise routine that involves lifting heavy things, then the next step is to increase your protein intake. A good baseline is to aim for at least 30% of your body to be muscle mass, which does take some sophisticated tools to really get an accurate measurement of. That's why I stick to visual benchmarks. But if you're a numbers person, that's the baseline to aim for with muscle. Now, with my Sustainable Way nutrition clients, I provide extensive lists of different protein sources based on their level of leanness to help my clients get out of the dry chicken breast and tilapia cycle. And if there's a protein they want to try but are unfamiliar with how to prepare it, I will give them exact step-by-step instructions. We're all about building confidence here. I had a client who loved steak but had never made it herself and admittedly was a little intimidated by it. So in our direct chat, we went back and forth as I walked her through the process, and now she is a steak queen. Just an example of how lack of kitchen experience doesn't have to be a roadblock on this journey for you. So step number 1, if you're already working out and lifting heavy things, still not seeing the muscle definition you want, we start by increasing your protein intake. The second step is in response to step number 1. If we increase our protein intake, that means our caloric intake also increases. Assuming you're already eating enough calories to support your organ function and daily activities, then we balance that increase by decreasing our fat intake. Gram for gram, fat has more calories than either protein or carbohydrates. So decreasing fat is a really efficient way to accommodate more calories from protein, which builds the muscle mass. This is also why folks who follow the keto diet, or even carnivore, often only eat one meal per day. It is easy to get 2,000 plus calories in a single meal if it's all fat content. But we're trying to build muscle mass with intention. So increase the protein and balance that by decreasing the fat. And when I say decrease the fat, I don't mean eliminating fat. We need dietary fat. In fact, our brains are mostly made of fat, and every cell in our body uses it. The low-fat, no-fat era proved to be really detrimental to our health, and we're actually still paying the consequences with things like an uprise in type 2 diabetes and other metabolic disorders. So I'm not saying eliminate fat, we just reduce it in proportion to the increase in protein, which is another element I help my clients do. Every person is an individual, so it takes a bit of an analysis to really know how much to increase or decrease. I also want to add, the nutrient fat is different from the fat stored in our body. It's kind of an unfortunate coincidence that we use the same word to talk about two different things. But know that eating fat, the nutrient, does not mean you become fat or gain body fat. That's another episode for another time, but I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention that part. Okay, then step number 3 for eating to see muscle mass is to make 90% of your carbs come from vegetables. You don't need to eliminate starchy carbs like grains and potatoes, but if we make the majority of your carbs in the diamond meal a vegetable, a couple things happen. 1, veggies are the lowest in calories, so you can eat a lot of them without going overboard on fuel. And 2, it adds bulk to your meal. If you're like me and just enjoy the act of eating delicious food, adding more veggies gives you more literal bites to eat. We love that here. It helps us feel satisfied because it took more than 30 seconds to eat a meal. I mean, I detest those meal prep services that are like, here's 3 sprigs of asparagus with your golf ball size cut of chicken and a dollop of sweet potato. Like, gee, thanks. I'm glad I paid $25 for the amount of food appropriate for a doll. No. Not in the Coach Rain world. I legitimately make my salads in a large mixing bowl to make room for all the veggies. Plus, the fiber in veggies helps keep our bowels regular, which is a major win there. So again, if 90% of our carb intake comes from vegetables, we are high in nutrients, high in fiber, low in calories, and not feeling deprived of food. And yes, of course, this is another element I help my nutrition clients get really good at. I think a lot of us have 4 or 5 vegetables we can name that we actually like when there are hundreds of veggie varieties in the world. God didn't skimp on vegetation. Remember that He made us to be vegetarians first, before He gave us animals to eat. And our gut microbiome is happiest when we get a ton of variety to feed the good bugs. Only sticking to 4 or 5 vegetables your whole life is like never leaving your house, not even to go on a walk around the neighborhood. But there's so much world out there to see. And likewise, there are so many plants out there to eat. And one of my favorite things to do is help people find new ones they like to expand their repertoire. And there you have it. Those are the 3 main steps I take and teach my nutrition clients to implement when the goal is to have more visible muscle definition. If this makes sense to you, but would like more clarity on exactly how much to adjust each dial, which foods to include, and even how to prepare or explore new foods, that's all inside The Sustainable Way, my one-on-one nutrition coaching program. Head to coachrain.com/nutrition coaching to get a closer look at how the coaching process works and even book a free consultation call with me. Plus, if you're ready to get started, I've got a place you can sign up today directly on that page as well. That's coachreign.com/nutrition coaching. So you can finally get the custom plan that gets you the muscle definition you've been wanting.
I pray this episode was helpful to you, my friend. If so, could you do me a massive favor and take 30 seconds to write a review? This is the best way to bless me big and help more people learn just how simple eating healthy consistently can be. And if you want more value-packed info from me, head to coachrain.com and sign up for the Weekly Harvest, my weekly emails filled with recipes, how to use food as medicine, biblical nutrition, and more. That's coachreign.com for the Weekly Harvest. Blessings until next time, sis. Toodles.